uh, Fraud was given a trailer. I'm gonna be reacting to it. I'll pause every now and then and say something. Okay, this is giving me like fucking Hello Neighbor vibes for some reason. I don't know why, but like the ever-spanning green striped walls gives me Hello Neighbor vibes. I haven't played that in like years. Heartbreak Wonderland? What could this possibly mean? Like, no, there's probably gonna be some like lore analyst or something gonna be like, but God was hurt and then broken, and heaven's supposed to be Wonderland, and Fraud is the opposite of that, so it's combining the two, or like something like that. I can already see some like Ultra Kill theorist doing something like that. Is the static teleportation thing like actually part of the game, or is he just like pausing in between where he is and then moving there and then undoing the static? Like, if that was actually in the game, this level would be absolute torment to speedrun. I'm really hoping it's just like a transition between clips. Infinity Castle vibes. Oh my god. Oh my god. I hope it's one of those levels where like a hallway turns into like, I don't know, a falling also sorry, my cousin was talking. I really hope it's one of those like really twisty levels where like you'd be walking in a hallway and suddenly it's like this, I don't know, shifting, I don't know, fall, and then it turns back into a hallway at the next turn. Because I'm pretty sure we just saw something like that, so I'm really hoping a lot of the levels like this. Also, if you hear random screaming or stuff, that's my cousin. He has Tourette's, and so like, yeah, pay no mind to him, please. What the fuck is that? What is that? What is that? What is it? I'm scared. What does it do? Like, I hope it's kind of just like a virtue, but like more, like, I hope that it isn't like one of the boss things that becomes a regular character. I really hope it's a boss, but it doesn't look like it because I don't see the health bar. It is one of the twisty levels. I love this. Question. How hard do you think this would be for speedrunners to like memorize which door does what? Like, is it obvious? Because like, not all of the doors have the lock symbol. So, like, does that show which one does what? I would hope so. Soon, trademarked. No, they have to add all of the like symbols, like it's copyrighted, patented, trade. Fuck, hold on. Let me think of all the things there are. Patented, coined, trademarked. I don't know if there's anything else. I don't know. That has got to be the creepiest wing animation I have ever seen. What do you mean this year? That doesn't give me any kind of... What does Linguini have to say about this?
I'm obsessed with this Olay Hyaluronic Body Wash.
The fuck does this have to do with me?
Okay, fraud has been revealed. We have about 90 seconds of trailer to go through, and we have a lot to unpack.
I'm reacting to a YouTuber reacting to a video. Reacception.
We've written down just the stuff I noticed on a first watch through because oh my god, there is so much and the fraud looks so cool. So let's just start by talking about this opening. Not this opening. Just give it a come on, you blood. Yep. This opening. Immediately, there's so much to say here. This room is unlike any other room in the game. We have never seen a room that looks this weirdly homely and lived in. It's got wallpaper on the wall, it's got light, it's got doors. The ceiling is
He's going way further into this than I would have. I just said, hello neighbor, he's saying it looks like a house.
Written on the wall in the back there, when he was out, you can see, scrawled in blood, it says, "We came in." This is probably going
no one else came.
Expanded upon and more obvious in the game.
Bad joke, sorry.
Right now, I have no idea what this could mean. Maybe there's some kind of like message Akita has said somewhere, or like secret the devs have put somewhere that I haven't seen. I don't know what this means. I have no idea. But this is very big. This TV. Now, just ignoring the obvious for a second, it's making static noises and it's flickering a little bit. This could mean one of two things. It could mean like deep, like I'm reading too much into it thing, where it's like, ooh, it's flickering, it's like it's broken, it's malfunctioning. It could also just be making that noise because it's an old CRT, and they just make that noise.
I'm willing to bet it is absolutely just an old CRT movie. Not movie, TV. I can't talk today, sorry.
But who am I to judge? So, let's talk about Akita actually showing off the non-Euclidean nature of Hell. For those of you who don't know, Hell is non-Euclidean, which means that geometry doesn't really make any sense. So V1 or Hell can just do stuff like this, where it's just like, yep, there you go, you walk through this TV screen and you're in a completely new room. This has been mentioned in writing by Akita. It has been subtly referenced by jumping into the Kosuke Minos' mouth and then ending up in Gluttony, which isn't the inside of Minos. That is poorly explained. You wouldn't understand that if you didn't go and see the context given by Akita. This is very obviously telling you this is not connected. This is not normal geometry as we think of it. Things are going to get weird. The actual geometry of the world itself is a fraud. Oh my god. Oh my god. So anyway, we jump into this TV and we are greeted with a totally different room, but no less interesting. Yet again, never have we seen anything like this before. A pretty nice corridor full of identical doors, identical curtains, identical lights, and it's long. It's really long. And the title of the level actually opens here. I can only presume this is very close to the start of the level, but this could be halfway through. Genuinely, we don't know. My brother came into the room. So I was mentioning, this is the start of the level. Don't know how far into the level it is. It's presumably very close to the start.
Did he say he had a brother? I don't think he ever has mentioned anything like that. Sorry, it's a weird side tangent. I've been watching Linguini for like a while. I don't think he's ever said anything about his family other than his parents. I never knew he had a brother. There's probably some other like fan or something out there that knew he had a brother. Oh my god, I just realized Linguini's video is like 24 minutes long. I'm not watching this entire thing. I'm just gonna, I don't know, watch a fair bit and then I'm gonna play Ultra Kill. And this entire video's plan was essentially just going to be me reacting to Hakida's video and then playing Ultra Kill, but I'm obsessed with Linguini's content, so we're gonna watch him for a bit.
But that's an assumption. And immediately, Akita starts playing with the non-Euclidean nature of Hell, brings the checkpoint right into your face. It's like, okay, we're not messing around, the walls are moving in real time, and you hit the checkpoint and it teleports back. So the walls can be dragged and moved at any speed, they can teleport around, there are no rules to how these walls move. Which opens up a whole host of possibilities. I mean, look at that, every wall, the ceiling, the walls, everything opens up. There's 2 levels, there's doors everywhere, there's chandeliers. It's all just going crazy. And then we enter this room. There's nothing. What is the point of that room? Huh? Let's just go back frame by frame slowly. Come on. Oh, come on. What is the point of this room? There's 3 paintings on the wall. Dead ass, those just look like cows. That looks like the skull of like a bull or something. That looks like King Minos, Corpse King Minos. And that looks like a cow.
Okay, to me that painting looks absolutely fucking nothing like the corpse of King Minos. That I could be blind, but I'm not. So I don't think that's Minos. Linguini, you tweaking, my brother.
And there's Stavars, 2 doors, drawer, and some stairs? This room's weird, but we immediately teleport away with a weird static jump cut. Is this a gameplay element? Or is this thrown in as a clever way to hide cuts?
That's what I'm saying, man. I really hope it's just a cut between scenes rather than an actual gameplay mechanic. I would be so disoriented if it was a gameplay mechanic. I would absolutely hate playing Fraud if that was the thing consistent through the whole layer and not just the first level. Oh my god.
I'm not sure. Because it could very easily just be thrown in to hide a cut and it would fit in with the CRT motif that was presented earlier. But he's looking around as if he's confused, and then when the jump cut happens again, he seems like he's frustrated, he's confused. So I can't tell if this is...
Wait, hold on. Did anyone else notice just now that Hakuda's revolver was changing variant every time it swapped between scenes? He was holding the slab, the slab ricochet revolver, I forgot what it was. But like 4 seconds earlier, he was holding the regular ricochet.
It's going to be an in-game mechanic where the game will suddenly flicker to static and then teleport you somewhere else. I don't know if it's in-game or if it's in the trailer. We'll have to wait and see. This is the first instance of the new enemy. It is a statue of something that is clearly angelic. You can see like it's got like some wings, kind of looks like a flower. And then this in the middle, which you can't see yet, but it'll come clearer later, is the cover art of the OST. The big white eye. You can see it much more clearly here, and it's much more front and center.
Yeah, there it was. The revolver changed. I probably am just really fucking blind and didn't notice until now, but like, I don't know, it kind of just seemed weird to me. So either the weapons change because of a level mechanic, or it's just like that. Like, maybe Hakuda went back every other take and changed it, or that's an actual game mechanic. I would hate if that's a game mechanic, because, like, what if I'm trying to lay down the Soul Blade trap for whatever reason, and then I'm just using nails all of a sudden? I would absolutely hate that. Like, what if I'm trying to use the Maurice cannon to, like, do a core nuke, and then it's a screwdriver that doesn't have any interaction with the cores, and then I'm just kind of fucked.
Clearly, this is a focal point of the level. This new thing enemy. It's an enemy. And then we cut back to this corridor. Again, I don't know if this is in-game or if this is not in-game, because this is like the start of the level again. This is where the start of the level. I don't know. I don't know. And then we cut to this room. This is an infinite corridor. This looks like an infinite corridor. I assume if you try running down there or the other side, it will just loop forever and ever and ever. So I guess we'll have to wait and see how this fits into the game. But we can see here, there are these lion statues from Limbo in here. I don't know if that means anything or not. Maybe they're just there because they had it lying around. I don't know. I don't know if that is significant in any way at all. And then we cut back to this. Listen closely at the sliding noise. That is not what sliding sounds like in this game.
Yeah, Linguini, it's almost as if he's sliding on carpet and not solid ground like every other bit of the game. I probably just paused it way too early before he said something like that, or maybe he's gonna ramble on about how it's because, oh, it's fraud, so obviously the sounds are different, or something.
This is not... That's not what sliding sounds like. That's a new noise. Why does it sound like that? Have they just changed up the noise for sliding? Is it because of the terrain that we're on being a terrain that we've not had in the game before?
Maybe. And hear me out here. It's the terrain.
Is it just they messed up? I have no idea. Again, this is one of the things that we're gonna have to wait and see for more information of why this weird noise is here. And then, again, I don't know if this is in game. I genuinely have no idea. But all of these flashes just go to static and then come back. But this one flickers black and then goes static. I don't know. Again, I feel like that's put in there for dramatic effect for the trailer. But I honestly, because of just the fact that they've changed everything to be, you know, you're teleporting, the walls are moving, you're going through TVs, I can't trust that this isn't in the game. Again, if anyone has any information from Hakita or one of the devs saying, like, no, this is part of the trailer, let me know in the comments, that'd be great. And then we cut back to the opening corridor, where V1 is now falling through the corridor, so clearly it's been rotated, we're getting some Inception kind of stuff. And we're falling towards this door. But it's not actually shown whether you go through the door or not, so I'm thinking potentially you fall through the door and it cuts to this. This is interesting. This is incredibly interesting. We clearly have at least a depiction of Earth, or something similar to Earth. We've got houses, we've got streets, we've got parks, we've got rivers, we've got paths. This is definitely, it's Earth-like at the very least. And don't forget, right, we're not in heaven, we're in hell. We're still in hell. And it's this big circle around, again, with the non-Euclidean geometry, and it all is focusing to this bright white mass in the middle. I have no idea if that's just there to show you that this is going on, like, for forever and ever and ever, or if that's actually, like, going to mean something, and it's going to be, like, Corpse of King Minos, or the pyramid in Greed, where you...
Why would it be from a past layer? We've observed that while yes, nothing in Ultrakill's Hell is Euclidean, two layers haven't smashed together before. So this is either a brand new thing that is just kind of like inconsistent, or it's just like a mechanic of a deeper layer of hell, or it's just light. Perchance it's not something cool. Perchance it's not a theory thing. Like, yeah, I get just about literally everything in Ultrakill can be turned into like some kind of weird overbearing theory. So this massive light could literally mean some other layers clashing with it, or God's corpse or something is down there. It could very well mean that, but like, I'm not a theorist, so my first take on it is just, oh, it's there. Like, oh, maybe it's just light, or maybe it's just showing this goes forever.
You actually move closer to it throughout the layer. Again, we'll have to wait and see. But also, we can see that this is part of the level. All of this is part of the level, probably. And it's all skyscrapers. It's all very different to the rest of the level. Why are we playing on grey skyscrapers, office buildings, and then the rest of this world is exclusively small, short houses built out of like tile and, you know, they look like something you could live in. So why are we playing on this weird skyscraper? It's very out of place, it's very jarring, especially this weird 90-degree skyscraper. It's kind of funny, honestly. And
I don't know if he was critiquing the fact it's different, or if he was making an observation, because if he's critiquing the layer for that, I'm gonna say he's stupid. Because, like, why would you critique that? That's not a thing to be criticized. That's very obviously something that was meant to be there. Because, like, if it's that different from everything around it, obviously it is either just in stark contrast, or purposely done by Hakita or Hikita or whatever, or maybe just to resemble the facts nothing's Euclidean. Because, like, if it's a critique, then I don't understand what he's critiquing. It's fraud, and so far we've seen in this layer that it's supposed to highlight the lack of Euclidean geometry in hell. So if that's a critique, it's a very stupid one. It's probably not. I'm probably just overreacting to Loom Beauty.
And then, of course, title screen. Yeah, of course we're going to do this. And then here we are, with our first look at the new enemy. I don't know what this is called. I have no idea. But you can clearly see very biblically accurate angel with the wings and the big eye in the middle. It's got some rainbows around it and a massive glow. And I think it's very interesting that this is the only enemy in the game to not have a actually modeled and textured body. It's just got the PNG of the OST. Why? Why have they done this? It's obviously a very purposeful, distinct, stylistic decision. But why? What makes them stylize like this? Because the other angels in the game of Gabriel and the Virtues, and also the Council of Heaven that we see in the cutscenes, don't look like this. So why does this guy look like this?
Because maybe it's not a fucking angel.
Why is this guy a PNG? Will this ever even be answered? I don't know if it will be answered. But then we see our first attack. Wow, that cut quickly. This is interesting.
That's a hell orb. Angels don't use hell orbs. It's obviously not a fucking angel.
This is using the pink lasers presented in the Earth Mover fight. The ones that you can't dash through. You cannot invincibility frame through these lasers. It does not let you. And this is coming out of a new enemy orb in all 4 directions. So you can imagine, right, you have like 3 or 4 of these in an arena, throwing these around in a small arena. It's, now that I think about it, it's Virtue 2.0. Like, but the Virtue and this new angel are both stage hazards more than enemies, really. You have Virtues obviously creating an area of denial, and then these guys making a small beam that you cannot dash through. They're both stage hazard enemies, so I'm wondering if we get more angels in the game, will they also be kind of less direct, more indirect attack, like the Virtue in this guy? Very interested to see. And then right here, very briefly, you can kind of... Wow, that does one. You can kind of see it starts out back here, and then it gets closer, and then it gets closer, and then it gets closer. I can't tell if that's just the enemy moving, or if it's doing some kind of charge at V1. Like it's going to have some kind of attack that it does when you get close to sort of defend itself. Because once you get close to a Virtue, it's a sitting duck. So I wonder if this thing is going to have a sort of counter to you getting close to it, where it's going to like try like ramming into you or something. It could also just be the enemy moving. Like, that's very possible. So now we're back.
Considering it was moving very slowly by frame, I'm assuming it was probably just movement. Cause like it all, like I don't know if he saw this, but I'm pretty sure, like whenever Hakita shot at it with the sorry, that was my brother. Whenever Hakita shot at the enemy with the slab ricochet, it kind of moved back a bit, so I'm pretty sure it was just movement.
Back outside, and you can see this guy yet again. I'm gonna be honest. In a big open space like this, unless if this thing has like more lasers on Brutal, or if it like gets enraged in some way, I don't think this enemy is gonna be that big of a deal, especially on its own. I mean, look at how little space it's controlling compared to how big the arena is, right? Like,
so like maybe it's not supposed to do that. Like maybe it's not supposed to control a lot of space, much like how the Virtue doesn't. Like I already said before, it's probably not an actual angel, because it's very different from any other angel we actually know. So perchance it's just not supposed to do that, because, like, the only space-controlling angel we have is Gabriel, because virtues don't really control space. They kind of just, like, eliminate a small chunk of it. And this guy also doesn't really get rid of a lot of space. It just moves a small chunk of it. Well, it doesn't move it, but, like, if you're in the air trying to do off a lot of movement tech, then that orb can get really annoying. I can already see myself dying to it like 100 times solely because of that.
It's really not causing much of a problem. So I do currently question how strong this enemy is going to be, especially for what looks like a big prominent enemy in the second to last layer of the game. But this is also standard gameplay. Hakita records all of his gameplay on standard. He balances the game around standard. So we'll have to see what this enemy is like on Fraud. Perhaps it'll have 8 lasers instead of 4. And if it has 8...
He said on Fraud as if Fraud is a difficulty. I just want to point that out to you. I just want to point that out. Yeah.
Lasers, this thing, I could immediately see being an absolute bitch to deal with. So there's a drone.
Much like your mother.
This room. This was the room we saw earlier. It was the room that opened up when we first came in out of the corridor. You can see here it has a soldier, a dead soldier, some schisms, and a gutter tank. And it also has a dead sentry back here. But you can also see clearly it's caked in blood there, and it's caked in blood and Gibbs. There has been a lot of fighting in this room.
I also saw a lot of, like, virtue glass. I saw a lot of that. Like, right there. Fuck. You can't see my cursor, but, like, there's, look at where the, schism is. Right next to it, there's virtue glass. I don't know if Linguini talks about that.
That, right there, is massive. Absolutely massive. Not only does the level actually move around you as you're playing, but you can go through this door and it will take you to another door in the same room. So this leads me to the question. How are these doors going to work? Are they going to be deterministic, where you go through one door and it will lead out another door and it will be the same every time? Or are they going to be random every time? You go through one door, completely random where you end up. Or will it be a pool of doors? So you go through one door.
I really hope it's just like one door per door. Like this one that Hakita went through goes through the one he came out of. So that if you could like learn how they work, you can make like tech based off of it. I would really like that.
And you can come out of any one of a certain selection of doors, instead of just every door in the level, because that'd be a bit insane. I do wonder, I'm currently thinking the most likely option is the first one. However, I do see the third option also being a very likely candidate because it would better fit with the non-Euclidean kind of terrain. But having these doors in a level allows you to just mix up the enemies so much. I mean, suddenly, you know, you go from being all the way up here, right? You're on the second floor. The gutter tank's shooting at you. He's shooting up. He's looking up. To suddenly, that is not. Suddenly, now you're down here. You're behind the enemy. You've covered so much distance so quickly. Very big for mixing. Oh, hello. That looks like.
There it is. Now he's talking about it.
A virtue, Gib. I could be mistaken. It might just be the chandeliers that were there earlier. Because I believe...
Oh yeah, I didn't even notice that. It absolutely could have been the chandeliers. I didn't even notice they were broken. So yeah, they're either virtues present or the chandeliers are just broken.
They have, if not the same, very similar. Very similar, Gibbs. That could just be the chandelier from earlier.
With Chevy Equinox EV,
God,
you
I
get the
fucking
tech
hate
you want.
ads. Oh my god, I hate ads. Fuck this.
Insurrectionist, of course. You can't have a wide open space like this without an insurrectionist. But if you listen very closely, you can actually hear a sentry in the background. So just listen.
Yeah, I heard the beeping of the sentry.
can hear a sentry in the background. So that arena there is going to have an insurrectionist and a sentry. Not the toughest arena, but, you know, could be a little bit annoying. And now we're once again back in this room. This was the room earlier with the gutter tank. And it has something that I've only just noticed.
I just saw it at the same time. So that's either a virtue thing, or maybe the main enemy actually is an angel, and that's the orb hiding behind its image. I probably just yelled about random shit about it not being an angel because of fraud. I probably read too much into it.
This hook point, a white hook.
Oh, it actually could have been a hook point. I have no clue. Oh wait, no, the chandeliers are back, but the glass is gone. This exact frame might have taken place like 5 seconds before the other two.
Point. Why is it white? That brand new hook point, why is it white? What does it do? What could it do? We've already got the normal hook point.
Okay, green hook points take you to it. Blue ones launch you past it. This one teleports you to the other one. It's pretty simple. I feel like this would have been obvious given the rest of the layer. Not layer, I mean level.
Dash hook point, we've got the time hook point. What does this white one do?
I absolutely forgot about the time hook point.
Does it perhaps cancel the non-Euclidean nature? So perhaps the doors are random, but then you hook point, or you hook this point, and the doors suddenly become deterministic, so they will always go to the same place. So who knows? I have no idea what this could do. But we once again see Sentry Gib mindful.
He actually had a much better point than I did. He's probably much more accurate with that. I feel like it would actually be a lot cooler of a mechanic if it stopped the lack of Euclidean geometry rather than just taking you to the next one, because I feel like that could be an entirely different hook point on its own.
Flare and some schisms in this room. So this is obviously going to be a very, very big, beefy combat room with a lot of enemy waves to it seems. And now we're here, swinging through some buildings. That's pretty cool. But then the whole building rotates. The whole level rotates. I mean, this is just massive, right? Like the floor becomes the walls becomes the floors. This is huge, because this carries forth into every level after this. You got to think about that. So the amount of possibilities for level design that could come out of this is crazy. And then we got the two soldiers. And then we come back into this room again. The third time we've seen this room in combat, the fourth time we've seen it total, and you can see there's no hook point. There's no...
Maybe the different things took place before each other and it was displayed in a weird time. Because it's called fraud. Or maybe it was actually taking place right after each other. And it just doesn't look like that because it's fraud.
hook point. But there is an alive sentry and an alive soldier, so perhaps this is where the sentry and the soldier come from, and they're not part of the later waves. That's also definitely backed up by the fact that the room is currently clean, so this looks like it's going to be the first encounter with the room. Since it's clean, it's got no blood anywhere. But I assume that this encounter comes after the initial reveal of this enemy, considering that there's now two of them in the same room. Be a bit weird if it came.
Or maybe it's like the Cerberus. Oh fuck. Maybe it's like the Cerberus thing where like after one of the guys is at half health, the other one just spawns in. I don't know. It could be wrong.
This room comes before the reveal of the enemy, so it's the enemy gets revealed in a room after this one. Very weird, very strange. Once again, showing off the non-Euclidean doors. Very cool mechanic. Very cool mechanic. And now we cut to a new outdoor area where you can see a Maurice, two Maurices. Ooh, that is interesting. It's not okay. We've got two Maurices, a gutter man in the window, and a Virtue. I don't know where the Virtue is. There's a slight blue glow here. And there's also a blue glow here, so it could be in either one of these positions. I don't know. These beams here are interesting, because those look like schism balls. They're moving like schism balls.
So like, follow the Gutterman's hit scan trail down to where not Linguini's cursor. Oh wait, no, his isn't even present, I don't think. On one of the buildings, there you will see what looks to me like a schism, so I'm pretty sure that's where it came from. However, it's at kind of weird angle, so either it moved while, like, after the balls were fired, or maybe a new enemy, I don't know.
But schisms on standard have connected beams, so that's kind of stumped me. Why? What is going on there? Hang on one sec. Yeah, those are just moving straight. Those are moving in a straight line. Maybe this is just recorded in a lower difficulty. Yeah, either this is coming from a new enemy, or something's gone wrong, or this is recorded in a lower difficulty than standard. Also, blurry blue homing orb. Since there's only
That is a hook point.
one, that means there's a mannequin somewhere. Also, it definitely seems like the Virtue is in here somewhere from the looks of things. But yeah, so there's a mannequin, 2 Maurices, Gutterman, a Virtue, and what looks to be a schism in this room. Very jam-packed room for something that really doesn't look that big. And then we cut once more. Back to the starting room again. We come back to the starting room. And the starting room becomes the ending room, which is in a bathroom. Why is it in a bathroom? That seems very weird to me. It's a very random...
The reason why they're putting showers and bathtubs there is because none of the fucking Ultra Kill players take showers.
Or at least a large chunk of the fan base. I know I do.
place to end it in a bathroom. I don't know. But I do like how the level comes full circle. You start with this TV and you end with this TV. I do wonder if this is going to become a much more fleshed out or like reoccurring mechanic in the rest of the layer, or if it's going to be like a one-time thing. Soon, TM. But we're not done yet. We come back to this corridor, and we just up into this enemy. And it blinks. That's weird. I don't know, that just feels weird to me, because it's like, it's so fluidly animated, whereas a lot of the enemies in this game don't really animate themselves too much. It's very fluidly animated, and then the blink as well on the square kind of PNG, it looks odd. It looks very unlike anything else in this game. It's very striking. You're not going to lose this enemy at all. And then we have the big final stinger. I don't know what that means.
Perchance that purple glow was it charging up the orb.
I do not have a clue. This is obviously it charging up. It's obviously charging up its attack.
Oh, he just said
Right.
that. I'm stupid.
But that's obviously what this symbol means. It starts spinning, which is cool. I don't know if the noise is added in, because Hakita very often ends his trailers with a bit, with a joke, right? Some stupid Gmod skit. So I can't tell if there's noise. I can't tell if it's edited in. Or if that's just the noise that it makes when it's charging up its attack. I don't think
kinda hope
it
that's just the
would
noise
be.
it
That
makes.
feels very, very out of place for what feels like a very serious enemy. I think that's probably a joke.
Or just the fact that Ultra Kill is a very goofy as hell game.
Also, what do you mean that's a silly noise? That's like a perfectly ominous noise for the kind of attack it does. Especially for like what seems to be something mimicking an angel. Because like the white hook point, that's obviously a hook point, it didn't move or fall. so it obviously isn't the dead body of one of those fuckers. So I'm guessing that the angel character looking thingy isn't actually an angel.
But then, of course, we got the real big stinger that it's coming this year. Fraud is coming in the big 25.
It's coming soon!
Which is huge news because, well, by December of this year, Violence will be 2 years old. Which is crazy to say, but Violence is 18 months old right now. We have been waiting a long, long time for a new layer. And from the first 90 seconds of real footage that we got, this is looking really good. I'm very excited, if you couldn't tell by the length of this video, over a 90-second long trailer. So, get subscribed, because we are going to be talking about everything related to Fraud as it comes.
Also, I'm sorry that most of this, like, bit of the video is just me talking about Linguini, and most of this is just Linguini talking. So, yeah, sorry I kinda, like, took a lot of this content. The rest of it is mine, though.
Comes out.
You should listen to him. You should go subscribe to Linguini. I like him. He's what got me into playing Ultra Kill. Yes, I use Thunderstore because I like playing modded. And so while I'm playing through the game, it's probably going to be a full game playthrough. It could also just be until I get bored. But I'm also going to have like a few speculations about Fraud. Actually, let's play on Violent. Full and true. So, my first like actual theory is that unlike most of the other layers, we're not actually going to be moving towards that big flash of light, and it's either only present in that first level or it's just kind of there the entire layer, except we only move towards it for like one level. Or maybe we do get closer to it and we find out it's actually where the boss of the layer is. I haven't seen anyone like talk about or speculate that part. Like I don't think I've ever heard someone talk about what they think the boss of the layer is gonna be. No fun. Oh, that was terrible. Oh, that killed all of them. Nope, that's not how coins work. I'm also wondering what the secret level is going to be, or the encore for it. What do you guys think the encore for Violence will be too? Or like any of the lower layers? Because like we can kind of guess the first two acts. Because like, wait, hold on, the battle music's still playing. There it is. Because we can kind of guess what the first two layers are going to be. Like, for Wrath, maybe the ocean Styx is now back to being a river, but then turns back into an ocean, like halfway through it. And then Heresy is just like P2 but worse. Oh. So I'm more or less excited just about like the secret level of the boss and the encore. What do you guys think level 2 of Fraud's gonna be? Is it gonna be like the same kind of vibe, or is it gonna be where like how Violence is, like it's just completely, or is it gonna be like how Violence is, just like completely different in every level? Or is it going to be like the Prelude, where it's kind of just a continuation of the same facility each time? so bad at this game. What? Why did that propel me up? I was below the explosion. Do explosions work in Ultra Kill? Do they work in games? Hakita, do you know how blasts work? They don't go up. Not all the time. Sometimes they go sideways or down. Do you guys think we're gonna see any, like, enemies other than the fraudulent angel looking thing? I forgot that hurt too. We're gonna see a new, like, filth-esque, like, fodder enemy. Cause, like, we got a new fodder enemy with, Violence, also known as the mannequin. Do you think we're gonna see a new machine variant, or like a new husk kind of enemy, or are we just gonna see the fraudulent
Railroad work. What machine army?
wrong railgun?
Railroad work. What machine army?
That's right. Why are my frames like just dipping? Like, are y'all see? How am I getting such low style? I think I got worse at the
Railroad climax. Cerberus.
Oh god. Bro. Oh god.
We both first. Hard on the sunrise.
Here to the Seern Rears. Clanker. Hold on, since canonically hold on. Sorry about that, my cousin walked in the room. But since Clanker is canonically the slur of all, like, robots in media, would that mean this video is gonna get, like, flagged or something for using a slur even though it's, like, made up? how there isn't a cooldown between when you can swap arms, because like I love smacking an enemy for like a millisecond and then immediately swapping back. God, I hate strays. Why do they not die when I corded? Sometimes I hate how the course with this has momentum, especially like right as I'm falling and trying to do a course. Fuck this stray. Strays are catching strays. Fucking strays, all my homies hate strays. Run away, fucking coward. How did that not kill you? I'm sorry, I don't even know if the mic hurt. Why can't I? There we go. Why am I so bad at this? Why? What if in Fraud we got a terrorist bomber Emmy? No, what if it was like a filth or something, and whenever it gets close to you, it just like turns into, I don't know, like any random enemy, and it just kills you instantly. I forgot I also have display capture open, so it probably like duplicated a bullet. But no, like it's a filth, and on death it just explodes for some reason. What if I just... Why am I this bad at the game? Okay, let's try again with this. Why does the thing stop in the leaves? It's leaves! It's a bullet versus leaves. It shouldn't, like, not even piercer rounds go through it. I hate that there isn't a battle theme for this room specifically, because I can't tell if I killed everything. I've lost so many P-rank runs of this level solely because of that. Speaking of P-ranking, how many enemies do you think are going to be in the new levels, and how much style do you think is gonna like be there, or like how much time do you think you would need for at least the first level? Better question: how many hours of time do you think it would add to the game? Because like, currently, the game is only like 3 hours of gameplay. Sorry, I thought someone was calling my name. I'm schizophrenic. That's a joke, I'm not schizophrenic, I say that like I am though, because it's funny.
We both take on the burning road.
Do you see that? The street cleaner lost its walking animation as it was moving toward me. It was just like gliding towards me. Like,
Attention, all of Secretary men.
Hold on, something that's gonna really make me mad is what if Rod's actually been released since Violence, and it's just, you had to, like, somehow enter a weird-ass, like, secret code to just get the layer before the update. Most needless addition for the revamp update. Is that ass wall? Hold on. Clinker is the canonical internet accepted term for robots. What would be the canonical internet slur for, like, stone beings? Because I kind of want to, like, insult Cerberus whenever I kill him. So, like, what do I do for that? Because, like, he's tall and has, like, this ball thing. So do I just, like, call him basketballer? But, like, that's too much for a singular slur against, like, one thing. hideous mask dies to soap because it doesn't fucking shower. Must be a Genshin player. I don't know why I hate on Genshin players so much.
Limo Climax. Where you?
KV2, can I like launch a quarter into your skull? The reason why I don't fully kill her with just the coins is because I never get enough style with it. Did I just parry her frickin' ult beam? Not ult beam, the... What? I thought that was a hit scan. Yeah, cause like, that's a hit scan, it's unparryable. So, what? Where? Were you always able to do that and I'm just stupid? Or am I... What? I might just be tweaking. This might have just been like a game mechanic I didn't know about. Mostly because I'm bad at the game. But you know, I'm not gonna play this level.
Lust, Thirst, Great Burger.
Oh my god! I'm going to kill someone, I swear to God.
Lust, Thirst, Great Burger.
If my keyboard would work, that would be nice. God, this the fucking... I really hope not being able to... Sorry, I can't think whenever something else is talking. God, I really hope not being able to, like, move or use certain weapons is not going to become a game mechanic in Fraud. Cause, like, that would suck. Red dude is soldier. And I don't have a bolt ready. Also, are you guys seeing this at like a good frame rate? Cause like, what? Why was the wall tweaking there? Anyways, are you guys seeing this at like a good like frame rate? Cause well, I'm looking at OBS. It says 60 out of 60 frames, and it's smooth on my screen. But like every time I look over, it's at like 4 frames a second.
Lust, sheer heart attack.
Worthless bitch. That is a full saw blade. Why can it not go through a window? I'm gonna kill myself.
Lust, sheer heart attack.
Let's try this door section again and hope. There we go. Why did I just... I don't know, floated up for a sec. I just like jumped and I started going up, like uncontrollably. God!
Last climax, Gordon Gorksky.
No, maybe if I was able to fucking parry a simple fist when I parried 100 times, I would be good at this game.
Last climax, Gordon Gorksky. Gluttony and blood resentful. Million rupees.
Worthless, blood-sucking bitch.
Gluttony and blood resentful. Million rupees.
You know, maybe if I could aim and hit the fucking coin, then I wouldn't be the most unskilled player in this little Unity game. Maybe if I could dash. real. You outcast, I'm coming for you next.
Gluttony and one climax in the flesh.
May your woes be many and your days few.
And may the light you search for be forever cast out of your body, you worthless outcast. The reason why I quit missions instead of skipping there is because every time I try to skip, for some reason it just like crashes my game. I was on Violent as standard. Slaves to power. But I swapped back to Sawblade.
Greed, curse, slave to power.
Worthless.
Greed, secure, goddamn the sun.
Sometimes I think I'm worthless, and then I look at filth. Ew, I hate this level. I'm going literally anywhere else. That's standard. Clear to soil. Or Solel. I don't know how to read that.
Green, Climax, Clear the Solitude.
Hey, can I like punch you with your own arm? No, maybe I'm gonna die. Yeah, because I am not fucking good at this game. That's still standard. Can I...
Green, Climax, Clear the Solitude.
Oh, now you go a different fucking direction. Where did you even go? Worthless fucking pile of scrap.
Worthless bitch.
Oh, and of course I missed that fucking shot. Sometimes my worthlessness is not even outmatched by that of V2. And sometimes my idiocy is still worse than that of a filth. I cannot possibly continue after that bad of a fuck up. There we go.
Red Earth, in the way of Poseidon.
What if, and hear me out, I just